Welcome back to the Tailosive Eevee podcast, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm happy to report I actually watched the Eevee podcast they did that I wasn't in since the last time recorded, and I wanted you both to know that you're wrong and white interiors are amazing. Black interior Teslas suck, so just needed to catch up on that. But hi, how are you doing?
Welcome back
Come
home.
for me like that.
I'm doing great. Pearl felt like a brand new car. The steering wheel was so much smaller and so quiet, so smooth. Oh my gosh.
Did you immediately just get back in Pearl when you got back in California?
Yeah.
Just drove around the block, just like,
Right.
yes, this is so much better than the Mercedes.
Pretty much. Well, I was also concerned if something would happen because this is the longest time Pearl has ever gone without moving. I didn't have too much prep time because it was a surprise trip, but I plugged Pearl in and I left the charge limit at 50%. And I did have Sentry mode on though, and I was kind of surprised. Sentry mode on my car is using like 7% a day, I would say. So it kind of chews through the battery pretty quick. And because the battery eventually went below 50, it was getting to the point where basically every day it did need to top off to get back to 50. And then I was worried though because it's LFP. So I was like, after a week, I set it to 100. So week went by. Still, I'm making the car fart while I'm in Florida. I'm just pushing it over and over again. It's like 3 a.m. back home. And I'm like, these poor neighbors. But I let it charge to 100 and then work its way down. And yeah, it took about 5 or 6. Yeah. No, it took like a week before it actually went below 50 again, and then charged it up to full the day I got back. And yeah, everything seemed fine. I didn't notice any like, oh, the car is sat for too long, or, no 12-volt issues or that kind of thing. But I've been wanting to talk about this on the podcast for a while. Partly because I need to talk about Mike about it, period, because we're taking another big trip this summer where I'm going to be gone much longer. I'm going to be gone like 6 weeks or something. Mm-hmm. And I asked Mike if, because we're flying out of a different airport this time, if I could leave my car at your place. But now I'm wondering, like, how should we charge it? Like, I'll probably turn off Sentry mode because your house is much safer located than mine. But
it's right next to Tim Cook's house, by the way. Just to let you know. If everyone knows where Tim Cook is.
Don't say that. Because, yeah. But
no one knows where I live.
No, thank God. But
Oakland,
like, if you're leaving an LFP, if you're leaving an LFP Tesla for like 6 weeks, should you still charge it to 100% at least once a week, or is it okay for it to stay at 50? I don't know.
I'll turn the advice that you gave me about my car back on you with me supercharging my car.
Oh yeah.
Like every single week, and I was worried about the battery life of the car, and you're like, well, it was kind of designed to do a decent amount of supercharging, so it shouldn't hurt the life of the battery too much at all. I don't think you should be too focused on it.
Okay.
And so I'd say the same for the LFP battery on your Model 3 is we can play with it. We can do some fun tests with you all the way across the world.
Your car's sitting. You'll have 2 Teslas for a month.
We can some weeks do 100%. Other weeks we can do 80% or 90%. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I could take it a stroll down the driveway or like nothing far. But I think it'll be a fun experience babysitting Pearl. But I don't think you should put as much worry as you are right now. I am concerned why it's burning 7% of your battery with Sentry mode. Maybe at least in your location it's seeing too many like cats or chickens or dogs.
There are a lot of
whatever.
cats. But it's still like, if you think about it, it's like 4 cameras, I think, all recording at the same time. 5 cameras all recording.
Wait, 1, 2. Is it 5? Yeah, because there's the interior one now that records.
But I don't think that's recording.
Does it
when
record? No, it
SentryMode's
doesn't
on.
record. It's now just a viewer now. Okay.
It's a viewer when you have premium connectivity, but I don't think it's recording. Plus, there's other like I did get a software update while I was in Florida, so I installed that.
I'm doing that right now.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So I was like, I think the main reason my Sentry Mode probably uses more than your guys's is because you both have long range Teslas. So Sentry Mode could be using, I don't know, maybe it's different because I have an AMD processor and your guys' is Intel, but there's
Mine's
a
in
chance
the garage, so it's not picking up nothing.
is your Sentry Mode on at all when you're? Oh, okay.
Well,
But
while I was
yeah,
in the
like you
garage,
guys, yeah, it could be the same amount of energy consumption on all of our vehicles, but yours is coming from like a 80 kilowatt hour pack, and mine's coming from a 60 kilowatt hour pack. So even if the energy consumption is the same, the percentage of the battery that it eats would be higher on mine than yours. But if you're really just parking the car long term and you're worried about, like, I thankfully should be able to leave it with Mike and he'll be able to plug it in, so I don't need to worry about it dying. But if I turned off Sentry Mode, it would probably last several months on a full charge, because I'm pretty sure that's the biggest. I've read about other people that have left their car with Sentry Mode off and using like 15% a week or so, or maybe every 2 weeks or so. So it would probably last the entire trip if we just left it home at full unplugged. But
I think a fun test we can do is probably, I've got a car cover for my Y. I could just put it outside.
Oh yeah. Do you
Every
think
other
that
week we can kind of just.
our kids are having a play date? They're like, "Ooh, do you think it'll fit on me?" I don't know.
Meanwhile, Randy with Sage, nah. Drew with Pearl and
Real
Jarvis.
baby is overrated. Tesla baby.
Even though there is Phoenix. Yeah, I think we could do some fun stuff with the Y in the car cover, or maybe trying to fit the 3 in the car cover, which will just look like a very baggy clothes on it.
It'll cover the rims.
Yeah. And then like either parking it in the garage or parking it on the driveway and vice versa and all that.
This will be Pearl's first wall connector. Kind
Charging?
of.
I mean, don't you plug it in on yours? Or do you mean like an actual like Tesla branded wall connector?
I did go to a restaurant once that had a Tesla wall connector, so I guess it's not the first time. But
okay.
I just want to take lots of pictures of the two of them together. We only have like that one when we met up in.
We need to get all 3 together.
That's gonna be the real trick. That's gonna take a lot longer because Randy's got to go a lot further than we do.
We can be in the middle.
We'll all meet in Ohio or something.
That doesn't exist.
Fair.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Do you have any new developments on Phoenix this week, Randy? I guess before
is she sold yet?
Is she sold yet? Have you been Model Y shopping and Phoenix has been quivering in the corner of the garage? Door handles.
My poor Phoenix. Well, Phoenix is not going anywhere, but I guess we're going there. Welcome to this week's main title of the EV podcast. First come, first serve, I guess.
What? Oh my god!
Wait, I missed it. Oh my god! I didn't look at the group chat.
It's my car.
Wait, what? Wait
Randy has my car.
Second.
How do you have Jarvis on your phone?
Hey, why? Oh god, Randy, I have so many. Why did you let us talk so much about Pearl? This is why Pearl's not in the intro. Why did you let us talk so much?
But oh my goodness.
We're going to be able to clickbait the crap out of this episode now.
Again.
I really wish I had time to do the Tesla experience again.
Oh
so
my
this
goodness.
isn't a joke. You're not pulling our leg? I can never tell with you.
You didn't get this? Well, I guess it is.
The only thing I would say that I should do to you what you did to us, Drew. I should have made you wait.
Yeah, you should have. Seriously.
The only reason why I'm not is because I don't know what my schedule will look like, and I thought about recording in the car and all that. Okay,
Oh,
audio listeners have no idea what's
hold
going on.
Wait a sec. Maybe I looked at this wrong.
No.
Randy bought a
This
Hummer?
isn't.
Oh my
This
God.
is the. I can't really tell from the image.
Let me
Is
explain.
this a performance?
It is a Model Y Performance.
What? No.
I was gonna say
No
the
way.
wheels don't look exactly like my rectangular bars.
What?
It
I-
is a Model Y Performance.
Oh,
Hello,
God.
Nick and Sweeney. How are you doing?
Is this going to be the second Model Y Performance to be canceled on the podcast?
Maybe.
Come on, Drew.
Oh my God.
You know me. You know me better than that.
I never know what I'm getting into with these shows.
Why
There's always
performance?
some.
Is it just
you know
because
how
it's
hard I
quicker?
was trying to we should do tech first, and I this not. You know how much I tried to deflect.
Oh my God, Randy. You have no idea what I was going to ask next on the show. I was literally seconds away from asking a question.
What was the question? I'm just
It was
curious.
going to be about, do you think I'm wrong to exclude, plug-in hybrids or gas vehicles from discussion because, I did my whole video on the Mercedes and you were saying I test drove certain vehicles and I was like, I don't want to hear about it, don't tell me. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't exclude that because of your use case and you want to be able to refuel quicker and just get on the road.
I
and-
understand your question.
But now
you're not.
Now it's
Here's
all
the thing. Okay, so I don't know if I said this error or not. I think I did, but let's just say this particular Model Y passed the House and so went to the president's desk. It went to the president's desk for signature.
Wow.
Let's just say it
Oh
like
my
that.
God.
So okay,
Wow.
tell us. I'm assuming. Okay, I'm gonna guess the configuration because we'll do this with every single person who gets or reserves a car, I guess, on the Tales of Gaming
Jeez.
podcast. I'm predicting then.
I'm in shock
This
right
is
now.
because you sent a picture. It's easy to say it's a Midnight Silver Metallic Performance Model Y.
No,
Yes.
it's a Quicksilver. He's moving to Germany.
Ooh, that'd be even cooler. Black interior, which I think I could gather that from the photo, but no enhanced autopilot or FSD.
I'm just saying yes to everything, but
Now let me
right,
make
that's
a
your-
completely different guess.
so
It's a
that's
green
your
one.
that's your yes. Okay. All right. So that's your
So I guess the only variability is whether you have enhanced autopilot and FSD, in which I say no, just because the past
that's
episodes
autopilot
have said
FSD.
That's not the real question, in my opinion.
no.
The real
What, you
question
think he has a hitch?
is this replacing or joining Phoenix? That's what I'm really curious about.
I'm saying it's joining. I think the Yaris is gone. Randy's gonna bite the bullet and have 2 Teslas on the insurance docket,
He said interesting.
just because he said Phoenix is going nowhere.
No, I'm
Oh, he did
purposely
say
saying
that.
noises to I could be misleading. I've been keeping this under wraps. you don't even know when I ordered this.
Well,
I'm going to say you ordered it when I posted my video saying, if you want a Model Y, buy now.
I think it was when I sent
Hang
the
on,
link a couple days ago saying
Let's
Model
analyze
Y
the
inventory.
screenshot. I'm going to download it right now and see when it was.
you're gonna
No,
pixel peep
well, the
everything.
screenshot's also misleading, and I think it gets scrubbed from the from Discord.
The only information that we have is February to March delivery date, which
Okay.
matches a new
Means
model.
it
Y
wasn't
configuration.
ordered too long ago.
I think it was ordered within the last week.
Okay, we can tell from the screenshot that Randy doesn't like the iOS battery percentage redesign because he has the old, just like I do.
Here's the thing.
He's also not on
I love-
Wi-Fi,
continue.
so he's preserving his connection. To
It was
the-
11:31. We don't know if that's AM or PM, but it's Randy, so it would have been military time. So that means it's
So it's
AM.
obviously AM. The things
And,
aren't loading on essentials and charging, so he
I'm
was
3
loving
hours.
every second of this.
3 hours from now, Pacific time would have been 12:30. So we know he took this screenshot well over an hour ago.
Hmm.
All right.
Oh my God, you evil man.
Are you ready? I
Just tell
I've
us.
thrown off the
We can
scent
speculate
so
now.
hard.
I feel so bad for talking for so long at the beginning of the show now.
No.
Now all the listeners are going to be waiting for the big news. Like,
Shut up, Drew. Shut up, Drew.
and
Shut
we're
up,
like,
Drew.
oh boy, our cards are going to have a play day. Meanwhile,
Okay.
Randy's like sweating, waiting. Yeah.
Yep. I'm
Okay.
He's uncharacteristically quiet today. That's why. Okay. So, I will come clean. None of you totally got it right.
Good.
Start in order that I appropriate. This
All
screenshot was not taken on my phone.
Ah.
It's Brittany's
Huh?
car.
It is. Well, it's
Oh.
on her. As to when it was ordered, you remember when I tweeted this?
Yes, I
Mhm.
do. And I voted, for the record.
I didn't see your little sticker that said I.
Yeah, I needed the sticker. Huh? And it seems like I voted for the most popular option as well.
Same.
All
I
right.
also said yes.
I tweeted that at the service center
Why were you
I
at the
took the
service center?
because this was not the configuration
Oh.
I own. Once let me
See, that was
The
my
Model
question
Y
is why
with my
performance?
own
Why is the performance being
He needs it
prioritized?
now, Drew. He needs it
To for the tax credit?
Tell us.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Great questions. I know where you're going with that question too. No. No. I know where you were leading. I know where you were leading that.
Oh
no,
my
that's
God,
not
I'm
why.
so excited.
I know. No, this is something. Okay.
Still
So
needs a name.
up until the very moment we
Jarvis
we,
2.
both of,
So it's Ultron.
the
Sorry.
Never mind.
the vice president and I sat and talked, and
You.
I'm the vice president. No,
Oh, I was gonna say Kamala Harris.
We did it,
Ow.
Randy.
we're getting a Model Y. We did it, Randy.
Interesting.
Good,
Okay.
good. All right. Up until that day, maybe an hour. No, about 2 hours because it took an hour to drive there. 2 hours prior to this happening, we pretty locked in on one used model, and
Good.
any numbers, tax credits, etc., and what we wanted. It was about the same price what we can buy a month now. And
Really?
For new.
for the
A new Model Y.
a new Model Y comparative to a used Y we were looking at,
Okay.
and with tax credits, okay, like with this not the gas savings necessarily, but with the tax credit. The one thing that Brittany did not get to experience, you always want to experience this. I bought my 3, technically my 3, before we were married.
Right.
That was
yeah.
my last, hoorah, so to say. Brittany has never owned a new vehicle; it was always used. She always wanted to buy a new car. That was like a cool for her to experience, and she wanted the Cybertruck, as we've talked. She wanted an EV, like a EV. She wants to.
I get that.
We were like, well, here's what the used prices are. But then we were number crunching about what the savings would look like with the tax credit and how soon we can get the car. All the the logistical aspects of that. We realized that like not that much different for a Y new we can get that one. And we were looking at the long range.
Mm-hmm.
But Brittany, this is where it's like more her. This is the family car, but it's her. It's going to be her.
Mm-hmm.
She wants those rims. She wants
Really?
the bigger tires, the bigger
Wow.
rims.
Turbine.
That was when she specced out what she wanted, which was the midnight silver
She spec'd
metallic
out
one.
Mike's car.
We said either that she didn't mind the white, she didn't mind the blue, because those were the three that we saw with the used that were not too far from here. Also, that there was a white, midnight, and blue. We liked all of them, but they had different price. Anyway, so we spec'd it out, and then we were like, we both were saying like that midnight one looks nice, and I told her like, if I was never gonna wrap the three, I most likely was going to get the midnight one itself.
Good choice.
So she was like, okay, midnight. She wants the midnight, and she wants
Mike's
those.
like,
More than
interesting.
anything else, she wants those wheels. When you do that for the long range, you look at the pricing of that. That brings you up to 57.9, or basically 58. That's 58. Or
Mm-hmm.
you get the performance
Extra 1,000
With-
or whatever.
for an extra $1,000, which is just the paint, which is something that we were like, well, if that's what she, then well, we can make that
That's
work.
fascinating. Your wife really
model-
likes those rims, huh?
She loves the rims. Her thing.
They are
No.
good looking. I will admit they are the best looking rims.
Center because we needed to see a few things and lo and behold, my takeaway from it, care about the spoiler, the virus, that means nothing to us, but the performance Model Y, that's lower,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it does.
and
Oh,
Lower
does.
suspension.
oh, you're right. Yeah, I forgot.
it's not from a distance. Midnight Silver Ys, one was performance, one was long range, side by side.
Uh huh.
Walked up to it, and it was actually more noticeable than we thought.
Mhm.
That low, without compromise. Foremost, cabin space.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Wow.
the rims. Like that's the thing. She wanted the rims, and
That's beautiful.
we-
Well, I
we
should have
ran
known
the-
based on you that your wife has standards and she won't settle. That's why she married you.
Thank you, Drew. So I was like, "Are you willing to take the hit of the long range, which is 330, or and that's lower?" And she
Sure.
said, "Well, ultimately, when it comes to 30 miles, it won't really matter. Technically, drives. Longest thing that I'm forth with that we're talking about last episode. and I think before that, road trips."
Yeah, charging
and
speed
the charging.
and all that.
So Drew asks, he was going to ask, was he wrong to discredit hybrids and all that? No.
No. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I love you guys.
For one reason. The only
gonna
one
visit.
reason.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Here I
For
come.
only one reason. Okay. Everything else I would
I'll
say
get it.
yes, you're wrong to discredit, but here's why we say no. The deal breaker that brought us back, that grounded us, me and Brittany, both of us, is that okay? So we would have quicker grab and go for these commutes, but road
Mhm.
trips are a weekly thing, not a daily. It's those
what
once
Mike
a month
said.
things. One, two. More importantly, maintenance, upkeep, oil change,
Yes.
transmission, engine, all that stuff adds up over. So I said, hey, we save $40,000 to $50,000 right now,
Yeah.
or maybe even say 35 to 40.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper than a Model Y right now, but then in 3 to 6, 10,000, 5,000, excuse me, 5,000 or 10,000 oil change. There
Brake
is
pads.
brake pads, gas, gas, gas,
Gas is the real kicker.
gas,
Mhm.
gas.
Gas.
For the convenience of commuting, for the convenience of going in and out at road trips, yes, it's easier to quickly just juice up, but just time management better. Leave an hour earlier if we want to get there by like say, yeah, leave earlier. We can. That's fine.
And
Because at
the
the end of the
argument
day-
you were making last week that I thought of a counter to, and this, your decision reinforces this, was like Sage cries when the car is stopped. So you wanted a quicker recharging or refueling experience.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
Sage crying behavior is temporary. Like that's a lot shorter term than car ownership. And I'm so grateful that you're factoring in the cost of ownership, because so many people just think, oh, gas car cheap now.
It came
Excuse
down to
me.
cost of ownership immediately, and when,
Yeah.
when we revisit that conversation again, because I was being fair, I was looking at both sides, and we were talking about cost of, and one thing that Brittany does not take away from is she goes, seeing with the Model 3 now all these years, two things. One, I see the cost of ownership. Two, talk about other EVs in a second. She goes, I trust Tesla's batteries. Trust them.
Yeah.
I don't
too.
know Kia's battery. Don't know these other guys. Chevy's I don't know them. There's not enough information there
We
to
know
give
about
me a
Chevys.
reliable stance. Well, but now they're like, hey, we're better now. Are they? We don't. With Tesla, we have a timeline.
Are
We have a
they?
timeline from
Yeah.
the Model S. The real, the Model S going forward. We have 10 years. Excuse me. We have 10 years of data.
Oh, I'm so
Go off
happy.
of. So
So happy.
when it comes to
for you.
reliability, the conversation was never to get rid of Phoenix, by the way. So I'm keeping Phoenix, but you're wrong on one sense. We're not getting rid of the Yaris either.
Oh, okay. See, that was my next
Three-car
question.
family.
You're gonna have 3 vehicles.
For right now,
So
more- to
the,
talk
the
more-
Tailosive approach then to getting an EV.
we're gonna no, well, okay. So let me talk more. Like, let me remove myself from the podcast element of this.
Bye,
We're
Randy.
thinking about we're thinking about taking the Yaris out to California and have it at her mother's house. That could be our dedicated California car.
So
This
it is
is
the
the-
Tailosive approach.
Yeah, this is the deal. Buy the Tesla, give the old car to mom. That's
Yeah.
exactly where I'm at right now. My mom has the Sonata.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're thinking about doing that one.
Okay.
Because we want to have a vehicle
Well,
when we are
that
out and
doesn't
about.
count. Come on, you would still be a Tesla household. There's only
Yeah.
EVs there.
Yes.
That's what we
Yeah.
consider. It doesn't matter if you technically sell it or gift it or
The
let someone
money.
else borrow it.
I put my money where my mouth is again, and what was not negotiable was we need bigger cabin space,
Yes.
and actually really that's it. That was the only thing that I was not really. Everything else was
That's it.
what works best. Because I was about to make another argument, but it's so anecdotal. I don't want to waste my time. The cabin space was the most important thing because we ran a new test since last week about what we can make work in the Model. We found something that works, but it only works for the Model work, and it just prolonging what we already know and that we're going to grow into the vehicle. And the Model Y is going to be, that is the Vasquez car. The Model 3, the Phoenix car, that's Randy's car. But the Model Y is the Vasquez car.
I
what I
think
mean?
it's her car, Randy. I think you're
Hey, she's a Vasquez.
misrepresenting. But that's mine.
You're
That's
not
ours.
That one's mine. That one's mine. That one's ours.
Oh,
No,
I'm
well,
so.
like,
I'm,
when I
well,
think about like,
congratulations, first and
where are we
foremost.
putting Sage? Sage will most of the time go in the Y. That's what's important to it.
Yeah.
And
The 3 has become the Roadster.
the 3 is I take it out in town. So
Although the Y is faster now. Isn't
Faster.
that funny?
Wow.
it's better.
It's not longer range. Well, maybe
No.
with some degradation, they're about the same. But who cares? It's range, right?
I don't think his 3 is degraded that much.
I will say honestly, who cares? Because
It's
I
range.
would happily.
They have
I would.
supercharging.
I will take the Y. One thing that we've all agreed on was that standard range model was the best at the time for 40,000. Like that's the best car we could have gotten.
Dude, I found one on Tesla
No.
existing inventory last week.
Oh
And guess how much
probably
they were
gone now.
charging $52,000 for it.
no!
And it had like
It
20,000
appreciated
miles
so-
on it. So Tesla
Oh.
Tesla did the price cut thing where they show the old price, cut it out, and put a higher one like Apple did on the. It used to be this, but we raised it because we hate you. But I was like, that's so rude.
We hate
Like they
you.
launched the standard range Y for 40,000, and now there's a used one that they're offering for for 50. I was like, come on. But
There's only
I'm so
3
happy
of
for you
them.
guys.
Oh,
I was gonna say this.
one more thing.
So one. Okay.
Performance. We got performance. This another reason too. I don't think this is speculative. I know, but when we were shopping around last year for a Y, these prices were in the 60,000. All what we wanted.
Oh yeah,
So
easily.
I don't think we will ever see another performance Model Y for 57.9.
Not until the next price cut, probably in like 2026.
I might not agree with that, but
I
it's not
go
that
down
crazy
fear
theory.
I fear it's going to go the way of the Model S. That is what I fear. Fear we will get better versions of the Y and they will of it. And I just
4680 just brings it
it's
up.
a personal fear of mine for the performance, and I'm talking specifically the performance. I don't
Yeah.
think we will ever see definitively. Right now in 2023, I don't think we will ever be this close. $3,000 difference between a long range and a performance. That if I had those types
is
numbers to
pretty
work
narrow.
off of before, that is close. We were talking about those roundups and
Yeah.
upsells with the iPhones on the tech.
Yep.
That's this here, except this is something that we're going to hold on to for years and years and years.
Decoy effect. Yeah.
I will take the best of the best. And when we spec'd out the long range to what Brittany wanted anyway, it was the same price. What we're paying
Right.
for is the paint. So
Yeah.
I that's fine. Okay. Then
Yeah.
then we'll go with the performance. I don't think we will ever see that type of pricing again. That narrow or that low. And I am speculating, but I fear it's going to go the way of the Model S because
Sure.
business wise it makes sense to do that. I hope I'm wrong for everyone else who would want to get a performance Y. I just don't think I. So this was the best time to do. At the end of the day, and this is more subjective than anything, I like buying American made, and there's nothing more American than a Model Y. So,
You could get a Giga Texas model actually.
ah!
Are they
That'd be
making
pretty cool.
performance?
I think. I think they're just doing long range.
Whatever it
I
is,
haven't looked at any footage in
We
a while.
got the performance because it was guaranteed February to March. Expect out the long range.
Yeah, I was gonna say I really hope you get it before the end of this month because
That's-
tax credits. Yeah.
That's what we're.
So that's what I was thinking. Maybe the next variable in the docket is get it as soon as possible for
You're not wrong.
tax credit reasons.
You're not wrong. That we were completely heavily incentivized about the.
So you're right, because if you don't get the full credit, you might get half the credit in March or something. But if you right now the estimated wait for the long range is March to May.
Yes.
So if you went with the long range, okay, you say even if you didn't care about the rims or the paint, okay, you saved $3,000, but the tax credit in February
Yes.
is $7,500 versus IC. So this is this is
I'm
funny
saving money.
enough. Right now, the performance is actually probably cheaper because it has a quicker delivery timeline. Have you guys been watching existing inventory much?
Well, not since. So I purchased it 3
'Cause I
days
feel
ago.
like
By the way,
performance might be more likely to have inventory, right? There's a higher chance.
I stopped looking once we did this.
Okay.
I haven't looked at the inventory.
Well, there's none where I am, but
right now,
there's a lot
we
of
saw a lot of
all-wheel drive.
long range. Saw a lot of when we were looking.
But they weren't the right color rim
Well,
choice she wanted.
no, that's not true. We're gonna go used until we realize that it's basically we factored
Because
What the
used
cost-
doesn't get the full credit.
used doesn't get any of it. I don't think.
I think there's a partial used EV credit, but I'm not sure what the limits are. It's not 7,500. It's like
When it
3
comes
something.
to lifestyle choices,
Mhm.
this meant more to Brittany to wanting to experience first time ownership of a new that she can say
Yeah.
this was built for me. I know that feeling.
That's great. I'm so happy
I'm
for
being
her.
I'm being a supportive, husband about. I'm so excited for that.
Wow. I applaud your I I applaud your support.
Wait, what
Sure,
I'm saying
babe.
is that like I wanted to. These were the numbers we were comfortable at now to
Uh-huh.
spend. So why not? If we were gonna do that with the or whatever or a hybrid or not even like if we were gonna do that with another vehicle, why not give us the luxury that we saved? Again, we've been saving money since. We say we very loosely. Brittany has been saving money since she's put the reservation for the Cybertruck. We've had a
Yeah.
fund building and building and building over the years.
Oh,
And-
that's great.
This is a treat to herself. This is completely a treat. This is not a necessity. This is a luxury, and we
Nah,
acknowledge
it's
that.
a necessity.
So why cop out if you're gonna
I think it's both.
if
Yeah.
you're, well the perform okay. I mean we can make
The
a case for either.
performance.
We can make
Well,
a
that's
case for
the
either
ru-
or.
That's the responsible thing to do because the performance is actually the cheapest one technically.
It's
'cause-
cheaper. We can get it sooner. We can like
Yeah.
and hopefully, oh man, God willing that we get this car before we take our Florida trip. We will take it to Florida. Not we will at least get our.
Wow.
We will
That's
get the. That'd be so cool to have. Or we will at least have the car then for sure if we go out Colorado soon. So we'll do the road trip there. Ready, and we're very excited to put that to the how that would work, and we're saving
Awesome.
money.
Wonderful.
Anyway.
I
I'm
really
very
hope you
excited.
take delivery by the end of the month. That's going to be a big I mean, I'm paranoid because I know what happened with Nick's Model Y performance order. So I'm nervous, but would that cancel the order if they say sorry, we can't deliver it till March? Would you still
No,
do it?
we have contingency in place.
Okay. Gotcha. So
There's no. I can tell you, unless there was a life-changing event that happened to us between now and then, there's no way we are.
Awesome.
Oh, so you're saying there's contingencies in place, so you have to get it no matter when, even if it's March delivery.
Not wait, half. I'm saying we have contingencies. Is that like we're not counting? Yes, we want $7,500 tax credit.
Yes.
We lost everything on that. We have other means of still lowering our cost at in some way, shape, paper. So
Okay.
it's not the sole factor anymore. It's just
Okay.
the biggest factor. But if we lost that,
It's not a deal breaker.
we're not. It doesn't fix our problem. We still need the car. You know what I mean? Like cabin space. The deal breaker is cabin space. We know what we're
Good.
getting.
So I shouldn't
There's
be
no-
worried then.
There's no way we're canceling this order unless there was a life change, drastically change
Yeah,
everything.
for sure.
Then we have
I
bigger
get that.
problems on our hands.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'm so
So
I am
I'm
not
so
Nick.
happy.
I basically sorry, Nick, love you. I'm getting the car.
I've got two
Wonderful.
things. One, you ordered this nearly 11 months after Drew ordered his 3, which it would have been
Oh,
hilarious
true.
if you waited one more month. It'd be quite
Very
coincidental.
close. Yeah.
So I think this just means that I have to get an EV in early January next year, so that way we keep up this trend.
Is that possible? Is that...
No.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
like,
Drew. I technically probably am the next one to get a. No, I think it's you. I think you're next with Aptera, but
Oh, well.
with me,
That's all.
I don't think.
Can I say
I don't. They're funding dependent. I think it's more. You're next, bud.
I
Unless
am
Ram
removing my.
somehow-
If you wrote this on a sticky mic, you have to remove me now because of what we're doing now.
Sticky.
I can
You
confident.
said
Hang on.
R1T is coming in 5 years.
There we-
so do
oh.
you still feel confident that it's coming in the next 5
Probably
years?
not.
Okay, this probably affects that.
I'll keep
plan.
it up
but
still.
who knows? Let's keep it up there.
Yeah, you're
just in
right.
case.
You're right. Who knows? But now that we are a Tesla family, the new priority is the network.
Yes, supercharging.
That decides. I'm locked in. I double down. I'm locked in now with the network. We
Yeah.
trust the batteries. I trust the network. So I'm no longer just saving up for a truck. The truck anymore. I don't care about the truck anymore. What I care about now is the ecosystem. Wow. The
You
next
could get a
car
tow
we-
hitch for this Model
I'm
Y.
gonna write that down.
We talked about it.
It's not important. Okay.
The truck. This
Don't
goes without
care
saying.
about the
not
truck
gonna-
anymore.
Yeah, I think this kind of solidifies that.
It also means the R1T or R1Fs.
Mm.
I said next 5 years, I just don't have a need. Here's what would sway any. So the.
I could visualize it. I'm not saying it's a likely scenario, but I could see a situation where the adventure network grows and gets bigger and more widely accessible. Hopefully, within the next 4 to 5 years, it becomes maybe it won't be as common as supercharging, but it'll be like you could road trip without touching Electrify America. Like, I'm hoping that's possible with a Rivian within 4 to 5 years. The used pricing of R1Ts could drop a lot in that amount of time, and Rivian will make LFP versions that'll be cheaper and all that. And then there's a scenario where you could have a Model Y Performance and say, okay, if we need a supercharging equivalent vehicle, we have that. But at some point, your wife wanted a truck. I'm not exactly sure what for or why or what's changed, but if
It's cool.
there's a need for a pickup or a bed at some point for moving stuff or whatever, the R1T would have the performance. You know, it's very fast. It would have decent range, and once that charging network situation changes, maybe you could, and you can get them in green, right? They got Randy Green. I'm not saying you should do that. I personally love the idea of you just having a 3Y combo. You basically have the two
Perfect.
most popular Teslas right there in the garage, and you can share the connector. And I like the idea of you holding on to what you have, but I'm just gonna say I see a situation where you could swap one or the other for an R1.
So my pushback. Purpose and it has to be.
Yes, I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
If I didn't take the deal for $80,000, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like I had a reason to get rid of it last year.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
true.
So
I bought the.
congrats.
Oh, you'll have two. That's
Sweet.
right.
What-
It's
what
not
You got
included.
the Tesla connector version of it, right? Not the J1772 socket.
No, mobile connector is the one.
Oh, the mobile connector. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about the wall. My
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
Wall connector will come. Christian, there's
Yeah.
Let them come.
One other thing that I wanted to kind of raise a flag at, or at least give some notice, is that the performance Model Y is a whole lot more stiffer on the ride. So it's going to be a whole lot more harsher than your 3. It's going to be a whole lot, or a bit more harsher than my Y in regards to ride feeling, and also like any bumps in the road are going to be amplified that much more because you have 21-inch wheels and a lower suspension. Along with that, because it's a lower suspension, you're going to be scraping on things a bit more. I
Is
actually
it
have to
lower
look
than the
in-
Model 3?
That's something that I
Clamp?
have to look
I
at.
don't think so.
I think it's the same or close, but you're right that it will definitely be more stiff. But if she wanted the black rims, that was going to happen anyway. But this
Well,
is
I just thought
definitely-
maybe a good alternative would be the long range with the induction rims, and then just get the acceleration if she wants the she thinks the acceleration is that good. But
None of that means anything to her. This is
Yeah.
not. We're not. We don't save money that way.
True.
Would you
Very
rather
true.
save money and have a lower suspension? You might feel a bit more, or have a smooth ride but pay 1,000 for. Those are inconsequential decisions. Still, best
maybe
vehicle out.
True.
there.
that's until you get into the car and drive it a bit and you have those issues.
We test
But-
drove up. Did that?
Oh, you
one-
did?
The car we
Okay.
drove.
That was a performance?
One that she test drove.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Test drove the best
Uh-huh.
purpose. No issues. I mean,
Okay.
great, like
Good.
the stuff that fair things to have to be mindful of that are.
Okay.
That's fair. Cool.
I like
Cool.
those. I like those concerns for a truck. That's different when it comes to something. We just wanted a, we did
Yeah.
a bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm guessing the
Um,
Yaris doesn't have ultrasonic sensors, or does it? Okay. Well, that's good because your Y won't either. So, not gaining or losing anything by. Yes, you're going to be the only one on the podcast now that has the non-ultrasonic sensor Tesla. So I'm curious to see how that works for her without park assist, or when they do inevitably, hopefully someday launch. They said they're going to replicate park assist for Tesla Vision so that you won't need the ultrasonic sensors anymore. We'll have to ask when they roll that out how Brittany or how you notice it. How do you feel it? Like, does it feel the same as your Model 3? It's great that you have both, because now you can compare. This car has the ultrasonic sensors, this one doesn't, and we'll see if it feels the same or does it feel worse or any of that stuff. So I'm very interested in your ownership experience for sure.
I'm not joking when I say I really wish I was continuing the Tesla experience if I had that type of time, because I have now like 15 video ideas minimum that I know I want to run through and do deeper analysis on, because
Yeah.
stuff that stuff you're bringing up. The buying experience is
Really?
I had to do what Brittany had to do. Our experiences that alone would have been like, oh, here's I have one of my next to the Cybertruck, because that feels like fair to say that one of my best performing videos had to do about the process of buying a Model Y in 2023 is a whole. I knew everything all over again, so it's not like relax, babe. Let me tell you how the veterans do it. Like, it was a whole different experience that you had to go through, which was kind of
Why was it
cool.
different?
Everything has to be done on.
Oh.
Hmm.
Oh, like the delivery tasks and stuff? Or-
Signing up, all everything, all of it. Even the stuff that we would want to do on the website, ultimately
Really?
would then indicate us. We'd have to go through the app. So
Oh, okay. Huh.
the quickest way for us to get about the car had to have been go through the app. The way we were working our order. Versus it was a quicker back and forth, because she goes, she looked at me, she goes, I'm going to bet before you probably went into the store, went onto the .com and you did everything there, set up and you did deposit. I was like, yes, that's different. Now you have to create your profile completely.
So you remember all that? Ignore all that.
None of that matters now. Go onto the website or go onto the app, create your profile, and then
Uh-huh.
go to the little category that. So for me, I would have done an add-on to Phoenix, and I have to make another
Mhm.
profile for another vehicle or solar or what. Have to do.
Okay.
I got
Interesting.
emails.
Yeah.
Well, whereas before, I didn't have to download the app until. I mean, I did it to get ready, but I didn't have to download the app until the day of the delivery. That's not the case anymore. So
Mm.
I have to submit photo IDs app. I didn't have to do that before. I didn't have to do nothing with the ID before. Now I had to take a photo of my driver's license and a selfie. I had to run that through the app. That has to get a. I didn't
Really?
have to
I
do-
did that on the web. That's interesting.
I didn't have
That
to
may
do
have-
that. Period.
Well, that may have changed since I got my car, which was ordered.
Yeah.
Which was not
They
even a
said
year ago.
do it on the app. It's the only way.
Huh.
If on the web it'd say download the app, do it on the app, get whatever. So it's all app based, really.
Uh-huh.
Which in streamlining of things, cool. But it's new. It's all.
Mm-hmm.
They looked at my ID when I went to go pick up the car that day. Okay, goodbye. Here's it. Like it was the process for me. It's just like everything I had to do on the back end. Like, applying for not applying, but when you're it's moving,
Oh.
hope
Okay.
it's the process altogether. So
Yeah.
all of it has to be done front, which
Wow.
that's fine. We're ready.
This is great. So
During this time, I also looked at the ride height between your car and the Model Y. The Model Y has 0.01 inches more ground clearance. So enjoy your extra
Wow.
10 mils more.
You can go off roading now with all that clearance. Beautiful. But like, okay, let's look at the bigger picture, because that's a dilemma we're working with here. But we know that you got the Model 3 back in, what was it, 2019? 4 years have gone by. Now you're getting a Model Y Performance. You is in the household, the whole family. And that will basically, I know you're not selling the Yaris, but it's basically replacing the Yaris, like the use case of it. Like,
Yes.
that's going to be the daily driver. You're going to get the heated steering wheel. You get to try that.
So jealous.
And long term, like, there's two drivers in the house for now. You wanted each person to have their own vehicle. You wanted one with more space and one that was Phoenix, because it's the first one. It's beautiful. Last big purchase as a single guy. Do you see this Vasquez garage basically changing or being updated for the, like, what do you think would change? Is it basically just going to be the Model 3 and Y until Sage needs to drive, or could you see scenario? I still think the more likely scenario is like, oh, we want to pick up, or we want something with a bed that's better at towing. Or do you think that this is just going to be the garage now, 3 and Y, for the next 20, 30 years?
Hard to, because you're talking in terms of like, that's a timeline, 20, 30 years. That's a timeline of like mortgage. Hard to picture
Yeah,
myself.
it's a long time, but I just mean,
That's-
like, what do you think? What would change that garage lineup? Like, would it be another kid? Would it be a newer model? If a new one came out with more range, would you update it, or that kind of thing? Like, okay, or
the
faster
range.
charging.
If your question is what will make me want to upgrade, I
Okay,
but in the past when it with vehicles, what made me upgrade my car to the next car, drastic improvement over something.
mm-hmm.
Last, it's silly to say it in hindsight, but it was a necessity for me in the desert. I needed AC. And
Yeah,
the car I had before that, the AC went out, and it cost thousands of dollars to get the AC fixed. They were like, it needs the value of the car. You should just get a new car. Part of me wishes that I didn't listen to that. Like 24-year-old Randy wishes he was like, okay, I don't care, fix it, because I really liked that car.
uh-huh.
That to Volkswagen Jetta. Everything that I wanted, which and I had Apple CarPlay.
Right.
You know, I'm like, oh, this is cool, but those are just that doesn't change the overall utility purpose. Then I went from the Volkswagen. The way I was going to get rid of the Volkswagen was the Model 3. At this point, My next so drastically different from the Jetta.
I remember
I
that
have-
day you decided. I was there.
Yeah. Yes, you were. I have never once like I know what I'm gonna upgrade from that. No upgrade in the future. Add on because there, my household grew. Married man, father. Those were requirements of always had in mind of upgrading the Yaris. Yaris
Right.
was always meant to be just our beater card of whatever. We don't really care what happens to get us
Yeah.
to and from, and that's that. Always knew vehicle, being how the Tesla was. That part hasn't changed. Don't know what it would be, but in 20, 30 years, a lot can happen where they'll introduce something that'll be like, oh wow, that kind of makes my Model 3 obsolete.
Mm.
I don't know, but it has to be worth the upgrade. How I handled vehicles, period. I haven't owned that many vehicles in my lifetime. I'm old. I'm not that old. I only had but 3. The Model 3 being my third vehicle. That's cool. Model 3, third vehicle. So
Mine too.
I have requirements. It has to replace it, make everything else about the experience better. And I don't know another jump that would replace the Model 3 in that sense. It was easy. Any car I had could have been replaced by the 3 and made the whole day-to-day experience better. I don't know another scenario that happens until it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now,
Okay.
in addition to, like, oh, a truck, yeah, that's something maybe look at future.
When it's
But
cheaper.
I don't know. And doesn't matter. Sage will get whatever he gets when he's of age. Have that conversation. Maybe he wants
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Maybe he's like, Dad, let me do it on my own. Let me save up, or help me, Dad. I don't know what to look for. Like, what that out is as he molds himself into it.
I'm
We'll figure out
excited for
that.
the EV market when Sage is old enough to drive. I think it'll be
Yeah.
very different from today.
I'll get FOMO.
Yeah. Then we can
You'll
live
get one with
vicariously
him.
through him.
Yep, the next generation of car owners. You'll be
That's
part of that
awesome.
generation. We were the group. We are the generation that had a manual transmission option, but
Yeah.
our luxury, our parents. Age is going to be the. You guys had gas. You know, like, oh yeah, diesel. Oh, this is electric. It's going to be very interesting.
Mhm.
Can't wait to see it through his eyes.
Yeah. That's wonderful. I'm so
Mhm.
excited for you guys.
So
to
it
get
sounds like all of the credit goes to James Hoffman in last
Yeah.
week's podcast. He said,
Hi, James.
in regards to Randy ditching the 3 and getting the Y, he said, yes, get the Model Y and get the performance model. And you
James
predicted it,
Hoffman
man.
is that's my wife's alt account.
Oh, okay.
What?
There we
That.
go.
Really?
Joking. No, I'm
Oh,
joking.
okay. I believe
Like,
you said that, so legitimately, I believed it.
Drew's just
That's
like, I'll
called
believe anything at this
acting.
point. Randy got a Y, or Brittany got a Y. The household got a Y. I'll
Didn't
believe
make any
anything
sense.
now.
Of course, Brittany's alt account would be James Hoffman, and of course,
Yeah.
Randy would just say that publicly so that everybody knows.
Yeah,
it,
right.
Defeating the
Oh,
purpose.
yeah,
of
that was
having
her
an
just
alt.
predicting. Don't you guys know she watches every?
Wow. So, as you guys could see, we do read the comments.
Thank you, James.
Made a suggestion.
James
and
wrote
Randy
that.
Said,
My wife saw that, and I endorsed it. That's how that works.
yeah.
All the credit goes to James.
Wow. This was
James.
not how I thought this episode was going to go. Let me be.
No.
Surprise.
Wow.
That's why I smirked when I
Wow.
saw the notes that Mike was posting. I was like, oh, these
We're not
fools.
gonna. The
They have
notes
no
just
idea.
keep on growing and growing every week, and that's totally fine.
Gonna let Drew be the last one to surprise us with something.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in the near term future, sadly. I still think it's Mike. I think Mike is due.
I'm next.
Randy bought a Tesla before any of us, and now he's the first to buy the second Tesla before any of us. But the order goes Randy, Mike, Drew. That's how the buying pattern is flowing.
Is it? I guess. Yeah.
You got yours in 2020. Randy got his in 2019.
Well, 2019. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I would say, like I've echoed in the past, the only way I'm getting a new EV is probably if the Y gets destroyed, or if the truck gets destroyed. But I guess if the truck gets destroyed, we're just going to buy another gas truck just because we need a gas truck. As of right now, no EV truck can do what we need. Even if we're not towing the horses all the time, we still need that capability when we need it. We're not going to borrow someone else's truck just because we like the we like the idea that if there's a natural disaster, we can get out with everything and not have to leave anything behind. Yeah, so maybe I am up next. We'll see.
It might be a while though.
Yeah,
I just know that Aptera's in the funding secure stage where they're trying to find enough money to start production, and I also intentionally got the last trim they will build, so I'm not going to be in that first wave of deliveries. I probably won't even be in the first 2 years of deliveries based on how long it'll take before they can start making the 1,000-mile variant. But hopefully, I think what's more likely is before my Aptera is ready, there will be an electric pickup truck that is closer to fitting the needs of your household.
Maybe.
With longer range and faster charging.
That would be nice. But
Max Pack Rivian later this year, right? That's coming.
That news recently with was it? I saw on Twitter someone was saying that people with the Max Pack or someone with the Max Pack configuration order was notified that in like the next couple weeks they'll be able to choose from the Rivian store or whatever that they've got to only reservation holders or pre-orders, which is exciting. It made me think, maybe I just put in an order now, and then we just wait a year.
Might be a long wait, yeah. True.
It'd be a long wait, but I think it'd be worth it. But again, I think the only Rivian that's really going to fit in our household is the R1S, just because it can carry a good amount of people, which is what we'd look for, and also have a bunch of storage, and which R1T has that, but it's a small pickup, and we already have one pickup. We don't technically need another. It would be nice. Thinking it over after all these days and months. I don't know. I'm very curious to see what my next, or I guess my household's next EV would be.
Me too.
Who knows? It could be a Bolt for a temporary amount of time, just because some idiot made a very bad decision on the road, and hopefully I do that safely. Or it could be something that was spur of the moment, logically made sense, kind of like what Randy and Brittany did. Totally makes sense to get the performance Model Y. So,
do you have standard connectivity or premium connectivity on your Model 3, Randy?
Standard.
And Brittany, do you think she'll also get standard?
I mean, are you saying like keep it at standard and not get the premium?
Well, she'll get to try premium for 30 days or whatever once she gets the Model Y. But do you think she's more likely to just keep it on standard like you do? Okay.
All that, like Bluetooth your phone and that book or whatever like that. Like that's enough. The Model Y is the antithesis of the Model 3 of what I was speccing out the Model 3 the way I specced out the iPad 2018. We're doing. I'm refined. I'm more mature now. We've lessons learned. The Model Y doesn't need the fancy smancy. None of that. We don't care. We don't need it.
This is just such a fascinating time in Model Y history. Like, we had the big price drops, and now they're creeping their way back up. I saw inventory is at like an all-time low, which means prices will probably go up again. I don't know by how much, but like, yeah, this is a weird moment where because of the delivery time of the Performance, it might genuinely be cheaper to get the fastest Model Y ever made.
It's so weird.
That's a bizarre little window in history, and you guys are a part of it now. You were like,
Yeah.
we got the performance. It was like, oh, I just don't need all that power. And you're like, well, I don't either. It's just cheaper
Yeah.
to get the fast one.
It was
It's only gonna
literally
appreciate
a,
over
a
time.
conversation of how do we save money and have the cap. It was that. It was
Uh-huh.
it was cheaper to do that than anything else. We're not interested in none of the other stuff. I don't care about pickup.
Do you think
torque. I
she'll
don't-
floor it? Do you think she likes that type of
He
acceleration?
hates it when I do it.
But she's
Well,
gonna
when you
have the
do it, but
faster
what about when
Yeah,
she's
she-
driving it?
Well, no, like every time I did it, like for example, when we all drove in my Model 3, she's like,
Yeah.
she looked at me, don't do it.
Don't
She,
do
she,
it.
she does not like
She's
that.
getting a performance vehicle. That's great. Because of the IRS.
Now, if you're asking if I'm gonna do it when I'm in the car by myself, I don't know. But with her and or Sage in there, I'm not gonna do it. But by myself, I mean,
I just pictured you taking delivery, and you're, I don't know why, but you're taking delivery with Sage in the car seat and everything, and you're like, finally, we got the family car. And then you just floor it.
oh my god!
Even Sage.
You're just screaming over 100 miles an hour. This is so much more practical. You know,
Racing a
I'll-
Porsche.
I'll do anything for my family.
Yeah, let's go! Let's go! Woo!
Dominic Toretto getting a car in 2023.
Why did we buy a car this
Ah.
fast? Because it's the responsible thing to do for the family.
Because we're saving money. No.
It's good
Yeah.
for the environment.
Yeah, and I was just picturing like that scene from Endgame where Thanos is down. That was me thinking about our conversation because you said you test drove gas vehicles. Perhaps I was a little harsh on gas. Randy buys Model Y, knocks head right off.
We'll never know what the soup was.
We'll never know. But that's great. I'm glad that you're basically going to be like an EV only household, and you're going to be in the Tesla ecosystem. Both vehicles with NACS. Both vehicles can charge off of either charger, so you can park them in different ways depending on who gets home first and what have you. I take it she's not going to wrap it though.
Well, we might do a protect.
Oh, protective film. Okay, but not
Yeah,
a
that-
yeah.
We're not doing what I did. That was
What
me.
color is
just
her phone?
iPhone 12 mini green.
Okay, you'll have to do that on the Model Y.
Because that
It's this
it
bright
matched my
lime
11
green.
Pro
Yeah.
green, midnight green.
You have to, yeah, that's how this works. It has to match the phone, obviously.
Yeah, we're breaking
But-
tradition. We're more refined.
Was she excited? How did she? Was she the one that placed the order on the phone?
Oh yeah, no, yeah. She got to experience all that. Not taking. It's all
Was
her.
she nervous or stressed or excited, or what was it like?
Adrenaline was rushing.
Mm,
I would
Like,
I
this
would
is
bring her
real.
in right now and we can ask those questions, but I can hear Sage crying. She's
Yeah, I
standing
know.
there now.
That's okay.
They took a nap right now. And I
Don't
can,
bother her.
Yeah, so she's doing other duties, but the adrenaline was there, excitement. Yeah, like oh my, all the good feelings that you remember taking away, from like having that first time purchase high. That you
Yes.
get, like whoa, I wanted her to experience all that. For
Absolutely.
all intents and purposes, it's, like it's gonna treat it like it's her car. Want her to
Because it is.
because it is. Which is funny, 'cause, like we're entertaining other scenarios where it's like that car would probably stay home, use the Y while she is working space, move around with Sage if we need to go do stuff. So we don't know. We'll figure out. Once it gets here, it will work itself into our family appropriately. The only reason why we got the Y too, like, because we're kind of hitting on it with the prices being so cheap with the performance right now. That's the only reason why it's silly to entertain gas or hybrids, because we're at a point right now where it's cheaper to get a performance Model Y than some of the hybrids we were looking at. So say we're like, listen,
Wow.
we don't know, we don't trust. The cost of these other new vehicles that we would get more expensive than a performance Model Y, especially if we get
That's
that
funny.
7,500 tax credit.
Yes,
Wow.
for sure.
Considering all things considering, right now in a time where we're ready to buy, it just so happens that performance model the best bang for and the cheapest. 3 months from now, I would be doing this back and forth with you with a hybrid or a gas or what, because then it's like now we have to consider cost of these vehicles.
Uh-huh.
Now it resolved itself.
Good. That's wonderful. Now on the podcast, we're going to have long range, performance, and standard range owners. We're going to have
There we go.
finally a performance vehicle to talk about, which we've never had on the show. That's kind of cool. And wow, there will be 4. I feel like last year we were all talking about how our next EV isn't going to be a Tesla. No, but here it is. There's going to be 4 Teslas across the panel. That's great.
It's not my fault that Tesla's doing it right, but the network is important to me.
Yeah.
Battery health or integrity of the battery, making sure it's a good battery
Yes.
was important to Brittany. Made. It's the lowest
Now.
it's ever been. Like, this is the lowest inventory. These are okay, I was spoiled. I only had to wait a week for my Model 3. This feels a little weird. I don't have a
Yeah.
VIN yet. Maybe we do. I haven't looked. But
I think it would give you a more specific date than February to March. But that could have changed. I don't know when the screenshot was taken.
that screenshot was taken last night on purpose to throw
Okay.
off the scent if you try to pull the metadata off of it.
Mm. So you don't use military time.
Thank
Wow.
That one actually was during the date. Let me see.
you.
In the night though.
Oh, that is military. Brittany has military time on her phone.
Well,
He
then
uses
it must have
military
been in the
time.
morning.
Guess so.
Wow.
Interesting.
So,
So,
what do we title this episode? I don't know what to call it.
Randy's
Mike
big-
buys a Model Y again.
Randy
And
bought
then everyone
Mike's
gets
car.
confused. Yeah, there we go.
No, it's not your car.
We're
It's.
kind of burying the lead, aren't we?
I think you could leave. Well, this is pointless.
This is a
to have
story arc
on the
we
show.
have that you've titled these episodes in a way that I have a story arc, and this is almost the conclusion to it.
Pretty much. Yeah, like
I would say conclusion. I would just say it's the next chapter.
we have a
Because-
2019 Tesla, a 2020 Tesla, a 2022 Tesla, and now we'll have a 2023 Tesla between the 3 of us.
So do I
We
have to
just-
get a 2024 Tesla?
Yeah.
Am I being forced to buy the Cybertruck?
Correct. Yeah, you
Okay.
have no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Or you could get a 2021 model because we don't have any 2021 Teslas between the 3 of us.
Wasn't that supposed to be Nick?
Oh yeah. Well, was that
I knew that was last year.
that was 22? Oh, dang.
22.
Well,
That's right, it's
thank you
supposed
for correcting the course of the universe, Randy, by making sure that at least one of us, if he can't get a performance Y, I will.
This
It
is a
didn't sit
very
right with
expensive
me.
podcast. We're
Yeah, it
buying
is.
cars every either.
You guys
year or
enable
every other
bad
year.
behaviors out of me. This is why I don't care about upgrading iPhones anymore. My taste buds have matured. They're more
I
Well,
just
refined.
buy iPhones
It's
on
your
wheels.
fault. You guys are the one that brought the Model 3 up to me and got me into the content of electric vehicles in the first place. I wasn't that into it
Oops.
before you guys. This is all you.
Hey, I know what
So-
I like.
You do.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I can't blame either of you for the Y, but I'll blame
No.
you anyways.
You just you can blame us for being on this show because you bought the Model Y. It's the inverse. You
Yeah, I guess.
you know us because of the Model Y, basically.
Isn't that crazy? Before I was on this podcast at all, I think, or even before I got the Y and pre-ordered the Cybertruck. So all the the EV stuff that I'm associated with, that all happened before the podcast.
Yes.
So I got the Y before the podcast. I reserved a Cybertruck before the podcast. We haven't reserved anything else that is an EV or touched anything else EV besides test driving.
You reserved an Aptera, didn't you?
No.
No. That was
No.
confident.
We wouldn't
Mike?
count that. What?
You reserve an Aptera?
No.
Oh my God, you're so full of crap. You
His Model Y can hold a lot of crap. It's got a lot of storage space.
don't have enough time to make a 2-shocker, but how dare you? I want to know about the Aptera.
We'll save that for the next episode. But
We've got time.
what I will say, I thought about it while we were discussing Randy's expansion of cars. Maybe my next car would be possibly, I think would be pretty fun because it's something that the wife and I talk about at least every other week, is the Rivian delivery van.
The van.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Specifically was, I think some Twitter account was saying that they're expanding the commercial van in 2024 to people that are not Amazon, in which that only means if they're making enough for commercial companies, how long is it going to be until we see customers that are not corporate entities getting these vans? Or like maybe it's not exactly the delivery van, but something close to it, like maybe transit size, maybe a little bit smaller, but still a Rivian and still a van, still bigger than the R1S, but like you can still do van life type stuff in it.
Can they use the Adventure Network?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
I don't think they do.
I know they have CCS, so the connector would fit. But I know the Adventure Network is supposed to be exclusive to Rivian owners, but I don't know if the van counts or not.
I don't think it does because they're not meant to go that far out. They're meant to stay
the range is pretty low
in a metropolis, and I think all they do is they drive around and they don't even waste much range. A guy that I watch, let me give credit where credit's due, Friday Adventure Club. He's an Amazon delivery man person.
Yeah, I think I've seen his stuff too.
He drives the Rivian EDV sometimes, and his most recent, I think, YouTube short or video or whatever, he did a nice range comparison of like 100% at the beginning of his shift, and then what his percentage would be at the end of his shift, and then also compare the odometer, the amount of miles they drove. And he drove like, I think, 30 miles throughout the day, and the EDV only dropped, I think, 21 miles equivalent. Which is interesting, but only shows how much they drive around with these EDVs. So like range is not an issue, even if it's like only 100 and I forget what its range is, like 150 or something like that. Something like it's nothing crazy.
Something like that. Yeah.
So and what I'm trying to get at is I don't think they need the Adventure Network as they are right now, or like there's no need to try to tie them into the Adventure Network because all they're gonna do is drive around neighborhoods and then plug in at night at the delivery center. So. Maybe in the future, I think maybe that's what they probably have in the pipeline is commercial networks. Okay, maybe we might want to update it to where we can plug in the EDV or the CDV, whatever they want to call this new one, if it's a new one or just non-Amazon stamped.
Electric van, EV. No, that doesn't.
Well, I think they just called it. The Rivian commercial van, the RCV or whatever is what Rivian Updates called it, the Twitter handle. So maybe the RCV can do the Adventure Network where the EDV doesn't. So many different acronyms for this.
I know.
Man.
Then you got the RCV and I just think about the little.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But that'd be probably the only one that my wife and I would consider getting as like the family / toy car. Like, something that'd be fun for like
maybe that trips. Or a canoe if that happens.
If they end up selling to customers eventually, I still haven't seen anything. So
all they've been selling is their stock to fund their production.
Oh my goodness. Come on, Canoe. Let's sell some cars. Let's get some money rolling in.
They're not going to make this hard, guys.
They've used my money to start production now, officially. You're
Yep,
welcome.
same.
You're welcome.
That turned very quickly from ownership into a donation. Yeah. Oh well,
Oh,
that's
jeez.
just my helping the community. Randy, you'll finally have USB-C ports in the back.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Wireless charging built in.
Yeah, you're gonna have the Qi right there.
I'm gonna
That's awesome.
have. You know what I'm not looking forward to that I'm spoiled with that you guys don't care because live with it. The little ooh thing.
Oh yeah, the speaker.
Ew, the pet
That's
speaker,
true.
yeah.
That
I
is
have
not
it.
gonna be. You have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
not-
not.
is it?
I don't hear it very much when you're inside the car. It's
This
only
is
when
the
you're going in reverse.
I heard a Honda Clarity with it recently. That a person at my work has a Clarity and it has a pedestrian noise maker speaker thing. It's just like, ew, gross.
Did you hear the Rivian van noise it makes?
What does it make?
I forget. Didn't we talk about this?
I don't know how
Yeah.
to describe it. It sounds
It
like
makes-
God. I don't know.
God
know
sounds
how-
like that. Apparently, everyone.
Ah!
Yeah. Pretty much.
I want mine
It's
to
weird.
do the little. Oh. You know what I'm doing, Drew? Yeah, you know what I'm doing. Your,
You know?
your
Bruh.
sound.
Oh, the
It's
Taylor
at the beginning of this podcast.
And on that note, I want it to
Ah.
play that could be the outro. I want it to play the video ends.
That's how it
Right
cuts
there.
off.
Well, I'm so happy for you, Randy. Dang it, this means I have to update the outro again.
You need to add another Model Y.
We're going to have to film the performance Y for the intro feed but I'm keeping the clip in. I love the outro of coming up to Phoenix from down low and then it gets close to your face and you
I know, that's funny. I like that.
I was like, that was such a good clip, and I laughed when I saw it, and I haven't seen it in forever, and I was like, I want everyone to see this every time.
I love it. Because that didn't make it in the final B-roll that you uploaded.
Oh, it
I
didn't?
don't think it did. Because you don't
I
have
need to
sound
find
or
it.
any of that stuff going on.
Oh,
Reminds
yeah.
me.
No,
I still
it's
need
beautiful.
to upload the B-roll for the Model S.
Oh, the fact that you have the little me going, ha, like, yeah, that's fun. It was so much fun back. The times were simpler and lovely in 2020. Wow, that's weird to say
So-
out loud.
All I can ask is please subscribe to this channel so that we can afford to pay for all these cars because we're still not monetized on YouTube. We have plenty of watch time. We vastly qualify for the watch time requirement, but we do not qualify for the subscriber count. So
I
just
guess- yeah, I was
hit
going to
1,000.
mention last time we counted, or at least I remember, I think at the end of 2022. Oh dear goodness, it's I still have to wrap my brain around it being 2023. I think
weird,
we had
man.
like 600, like mid 600. We're now at 736, I think, as of this recording,
uh-huh.
which is awesome. Thank you,
Thank
everyone
you.
who came out
Yes.
and subscribed. Show this to other people.
Just tell them
And-
to subscribe and that they don't have to watch it. I don't.
Sure.
You don't need to actually listen. I just want the sub content. Make a bunch of fake accounts and
I don't have any more alt accounts to subscribe to. I'm out. I'm tapped out.
Yeah, he already used all 50.
If we all make 5, that everyone listening makes.
If we all
5
donate
alt
$1,
accounts. Yeah. Pretty
That doesn't
much,
go
but
against a YouTube policy, right? Like, that's fine. The
They
watch
they
time
just-
that counts.
They just want to talk
They
about
wouldn't care.
shorts now. That's all that matters.
Oh,
who does shorts?
I'm not
Apparently
even wearing
everyone.
them. I'm wearing jeans.
Me neither. Thank you for surprising us, Randy. That was a wonderful
You're
keeping
welcome.
it on the DL and for dropping that news here. You could have just tweeted it out, but you decided. to
Almost
say
did. I almost spied at you guys. I was like, you know what? Screw these guys. But I was like,
You could have.
Nah,
You could have. But I
nah.
appreciate you saving
I,
it.
I'd rather leave little Crumb Trail Easter eggs, and so that tweet was me insinuating.
That tweet made me think. I was like, "Ooh, he's getting close." I think something's happening.
Well, that's what
That
I
was
thought
my
too.
hint.
And now after this, I've just realized I can never look at Randy's tweets seriously anymore. It has to be
I could.
total like microscope levels of.
I
what
can
does
confidently
this
tell
letter
you
mean.
most of the times when I tweet things, especially if they're ambiguous, I am mostly always alluding to something. I like doing layers of something.
So you don't like Linkin Park? Okay, gotcha.
That's what you're saying.
That tweet went viral. I was trending. I made top trending under the because of that hashtag. That thing's trending.
Wow.
Yeah, that went viral.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Cool.
Anyway,
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and hopefully no more giant surprises for a while.
no promises, Drew. No.
Holy crap. I think this is also... Is this the biggest Tesla purchase?
Yes.
On the podcast?
Yeah.
Probably.
No. I mean, it's the
Well,
highest trim. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Mine
You paid
technically, I think is.
You got
Well,
it with
depends what-
FSD.
Yeah. We have
Okay.
to see what Randy has to pay after taxes, but I think I still come out ahead. So I'm still the
Okay.
champion.
You are still the man who has
Take it.
given Tesla the
Keep it.
most.
Keep it.
Randy,
Yeah, that's
does-
fine.
Randy gave it to them in the form of stock, probably.
Take it, Mike. That's all you.
Elon will use that to buy some other company. But thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Happy 134.